Die Sprachübertragung beginnt jetzt. Alle Teilnehmer befinden sich im Zuhörermodus.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon to everybody on the webcast today. Well, we have sharp 3 p.m. here in Central Europe, and we are happy and proud to present you within our webcast series our newest baby. It's all about 3D geometrical similarity search. And when I talk about we are happy, I'm talking about my colleague, Philipp Hinterdorfer. He is our product manager and senior consultant for ModelSearch. And my name is Gerhard Schwab. And due to the situation that we are not able to present everything with our with our webcam, you can see here our faces to our voice. So once more, welcome. And I see we have still some people who are joining in. We really highly appreciate. And to give you a little bit a feeling about the situation and the stuff where we are talking about. So I'm located here pretty close to Salzburg in the beautiful Austrian Alp area. Today we have beautiful warm weather. It's sunny. We have 12 degrees, so it's warmer than normally at this season side because normally it's already going to snow and we Austrian guys preparing to go skiing. How is the weather in Linz in our headquarters today, Philip?
Well, it's pretty much the same as in Salzburg, I guess. It's cold. I think we have around 4 or 5 degrees and it's raining.
Okay. Oh, raining, really?
Yeah.
So I'm today the lucky guy. On the picture, it doesn't look like because you are smiling and I'm not really. But everything is good. So this morning we had already a ModelSearch webinar in German language for our more or less Central European customers and prospects, and we had over 60 attendees, and we got a very, very great feedback. So we like us to measure because we had for the English ModelSearch webinar, we have a record this time. We have over 75 attendees which registered. We have a lot of people who asked before some stuff. So thank you so much in having you today here, and we really highly appreciate your time and your investment today in the call. So what have we prepared for you? And a little bit upfront, some logistics and something to guide you a little bit through our GoToWebinar or GoToMeeting environment. If you have any question, please type it in under the question area. You have on the right-hand side a box where you can type in there the question. We will be happy to answer the question within the call or maybe on the end of our presentation. We have a time reservation of 2 hours, guys, but I think we will not run over 2 hours. But if necessary, we are happy to answer the questions. And this morning it worked very well. We got a very interactive session with our customers and prospects here. And we are looking forward to have the same with you, ladies and gentlemen. Also, it's very nice to have some good mixture as well from the attendee side here. So I see that we have right now 31 attendees. So once more, welcome. Also, I will share some material with you, what you can find under material. Hopefully you have your browser in English because I see everything here in German, and that would be the word Unterlagen. So hopefully on your side everything is in English and you find it under material. It's on the bottom right hand side. So the meeting will be recorded, and everybody who joins today this session will get a link with the download, so you can use all the material what we present to you within your colleagues and share the information within your organization. As well, you will get several other documents which we also offer you for a download in the next couple of days. When I talk about what do we have prepared and where we are located and who we are, I know we have several new prospects, especially from the United States. And I think no one exactly knows where we are and who we are. 2 slides to our organization. So we as TechSoft, we belong to the so-called MADE group, and we are located in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland with 26 sites. So we are like TriStar and other Platinum partners, also a PTC, Platinum reseller. And since 91, we are a product development partner of PTC. And we have over 55 add-on applications to the PTC portfolio in our suite, more or less, and everything has just one focus: to add more, to bring more efficiency to your used software, what you already have in use. And we are always talking about BTC stuff. Yeah. So you see the numbers here. One speciality what we have here is we have lots of customer which comings out of the former Co-Create organization. So also I know that we have some people here as well which are using Creo Elements Direct Modeling and even Model Manager software. So the good news is everything what you see here with ModelSearch, what we are presenting today, is as well available for you guys. Today we will present live Creo Parametric with Windchill and as well with the MultiCAD environment. So we are absolutely in a growing mode. And to give you a little bit a first introduction, I want to run about 10 to 12 minutes about some positioning of the geometrical similarity search solution and why we invest a lot of money and time in bringing up this solution, even if there are other solutions on the market already. And the reason was, first of all, we had 2 very smart developers which developed the first ModelSearch version that comes from Peter Sanford and from Stefan Fössl. And we used this architecture more or less and tested it out with some of our first time customers. And we got there 5 really key criteria, or maybe even KO criteria, what our customers and prospects challenged us and said, hey, if you like to implement within or together with us a solution, it has to be fully integrated in modeling or in Creo Parametric or in Windchill. And why, you will see later on. The second point was, if we like to start with the first version, what we have seen from you, it has to be a fully automatical and bulletproof process how you generate the so-called footprint. Yeah, you will later on get the information live from Philip in the presentation, why this is so important and how we are doing it. And last but not least, you have to guarantee us that we will have no performance impact, whether on our Creo clients or as well within our Windchill PLM system. And sure, the price has to be fair. This has to be easy to use, easy to implement, and even easier to update or upgrade when a new version comes there. And stuff what I now are telling to you very easily, or let's say out of a sales guy, you will see later on that we all of these criteria we can fulfill, and you will see later on our latest new customers and the new decisions for ModelSearch on a worldwide perspective. You have written all the read all the challenges what you might have right now as well. What we see furthermore is also compared on a pricing or on a cost sensitive situation. So we have several customers who are doing a very, very deep dive benchmark and an evaluation on what is really the cost savings by introducing a solution like ModelSearch. And therefore, I have also later on some examples for you. We have here in Germany based the so-called VDMA. That's the organization of the machine manufacturers. And you see here an average of cost, what they calculate for a new part, what you add to your ERP system. And this calculation includes not only the engineering cost, it is as well everything what you need to take care about the whole life cycle of a part or even an assembly. And that's the next key differentiator to most of the solutions provided on the market right now. ModelSearch is also able to handle assemblies, not only parts. And why that is so important? We got very good feedback this morning from some customers and prospects. We will come later on, but if you think about on welding designs, you are welding several parts, but you store it as assembly in your database. And therefore, we have created ModelSearch and being able to use it for even parts or even assemblies. You find here some customer metrics, more or less, or even a reference information. And we have a lot of customers where we are really proud that we got the feedback from those customers that they have a return of invest of less than 12 months for this add-on installation within their organization. And that makes us really happy, and that gives us as well the power and as well the management focus to invest in the ModelSearch application with new additional functionalities, what later on you will see as well. So we will show you today an overview about our product called ModelSearch, the solution for geometrical similarity support. I like more than search because we have also a strong differentiator to others. You will see later on this so-called ModelSearch live application. And it's a pity because I'd like to see your faces as well today. And what I ever find out is when we are presenting our solution in front of the prospects or even long ongoing partnerships on customers of us, they have a great smile when they see the ModelSearch live application. And I'm looking forward in getting as well some feedback from you. You find here an customer excerpt, and you see different customers on different industries and branches. And it's really for us even surprising that we not have our most ModelSearch customers right now in the automotive area or in an OEM area where you have serial products. No, we have the most customers in the classic machinery area, or as we call it, Anlagenbau. So for example, we have customers here on the slide, like the company Herrenknecht, which using over 300 licenses of ModelSearch in combination with modeling and model manager. And I'd like here to give you also an information of one of our largest customers. It's the Liebherr Group, located in Germany, in Austria, and in some other sites in Europe. Because with Liebherr we have an company-wide ModelSearch contract, and Liebherr is the first customer which uses ModelSearch for modeling and model manager, for modeling and Windchill, for Creo parametric and Windchill, and Liebherr will be also our #1 customer who will use ModelSearch for modeling and Creo parametric and Windchill. Later on, Philip will show you what are the differences on the solution side, and as well on the so-called MultiCAD worker, which is completely brand new, and also what we have done on the implementation side so far. So I see that I was 2 minutes too fast. So sorry about that. Everybody who knows me on the webcast today would be really surprised and wondering, hey, what's going on with Gerhard? Normally he needs 5 to 10 minutes more for the first introduction. But I think you are waiting, every one of you is waiting about the live presentation of ModelSearch, and I want no longer lose time or invest time for marketing and sales stuff. We will have later on time really to dig in more. But right now, I see we have no questions in the queue. So I'm more than happy to hand it over to you, Philip. It's all yours. I will close my micro, and I see you have already shared your screen. Everything is working good. So yeah, great to have you here.
Perfect. Thanks for the nice introduction, Gerhard. And I also want to welcome you guys from my side, from Linz. My name is Philipp Hinterdorfer. I'm ModelSearch product manager at Techsoft. And today I have the pleasure to introduce you into ModelSearch, the best geometric similarity search solution on the market. ModelSearch, as Gerhard already mentioned, is completely integrated into Creo parametric and Windchill. This means it's not restricted to the design department only. All other departments who can benefit from information of existing models can work with it, like purchasing department, sales department, aftermarket, but also the manufacturing guys. So let's imagine we are working as a design engineer, and our job this time is to manufacture the model you can see on the right side. You may have in mind that you have created a similar one before, but nowadays, without knowing the model's name or the article number, it's very hard or nearly impossible to find the model in your database. So even when you know you have manufactured or you have designed that model, you probably won't find it. It's even more difficult if not you have created the model. Let's imagine your coworker who is sitting behind you has created it. Or even worse, the guy next door or on the other side. So even when you know you did it, you probably won't find it. And as mentioned, it's even harder when not you have created this one. So what does this mean? Well, if you don't even know the model already exists, you won't start looking for it. You won't start searching for it. So this means everybody is recreating the model from scratch. And that's why you will find, or you will have, lots of similar, or even worse, lots of identical models in your database. And probably you don't only have them in your database, probably they are also in manufacturing, or once more, even worse, already on stock. So it's not that rare or not that seldom that companies have 3, 4, 5 times geometric identical products using different article numbers on 3, 4, 5 different stock positions. And that's what we want to get rid of, or that's the problem we want to solve with ModelSearch. So wouldn't it be nice if we can, before creating the design, run a search in our database to verify or to check if the model we are looking for already exists? And that's what I want to show you in the next 3 minutes. So once more, we are currently working as a designer, and our goal is we need to add the mounting bracket to our assembly. As always, when you need a model, you know at least some attributes. In my case, I do know the main dimensions, like I know the model has a length of around about 90, the model has a width of around about 70, and a height of around about 87. I also know some additional attributes, like there is a hole diameter of 25, because I need to stick a bolt through that hole. And I also know that I do have 2 drillings with a diameter of 5, and they do have a hole pattern distance of 40. I know those dimensions because I have to screw a plate with those holes on the mounting bracket. Of course, it always depends how your model looks like, but you always know at least some attributes you then can use for a parameter search. So in my case, as I mentioned, I start the search before starting with the design. And therefore, I opened up Windchill in the external browser. I jump into ModelSearch. Just give me a second. I jump into ModelSearch, and then I start the parameter search. As I mentioned, I want to start the search using the bounding box dimensions, length, width, and height. And therefore, I start with the maximum bounding box dimension. This one should equal maximum. This one should equal, 90 millimeter plus minus 10. I also add the minimum bounding box dimension, 90 plus minus 10, as well as minimum bounding box dimension, 70 plus minus 10. Well, why I do add such a big tolerance gap? It's easy to explain. I'm not only interested in exactly the model I need, I can also benefit from similar ones. Why? Well, probably if I only find a similar one, I have to change the design, so I have to make some adaptations. But anyway, I'll benefit from the complete downstreaming process. So I can reuse everything that already was created for that model. In case of the design department, it's maybe the drawing, the strength calculation, flow analysis. It could be the NC program, work preparation documents, or if it's a buy part, then I know which vendor is able to manufacture this one. I know how much it costs, and I also know which check criteria were previously defined. So this means if I only find a similar one, I also will benefit from ModelSearch because I can reuse the model I found as a template, and I can also copy or reuse all the downstreaming documents that already exist. Well, let's jump back to my search. I started my search, I'm forwarded to the result dialog, and as you can see, I found 79 objects. Well, it's not that many, but probably nobody goes through 79 objects. That's why I jump back to my search, where I will add additional criteria. The more criteria you define, the more exact your result will be. In my case, I'll add the hole diameter of 25 plus minus 5 millimeter. I start the search once more. I'm forwarded to the result dialog. I could nail it down to 8 objects. And when we check out the preview images, then we see, yeah, we found lots of mounting brackets. Of course, now it's the design engineer's decision. He has to start his analysis, which one is the best fit for him. As I mentioned, as we talked about, ModelSearch can not only be used upfront the design, it can also be used during or after the design. The next use case will show you how you can work with ModelSearch inside Creo Parametric. Therefore, I jump into Creo and directly start with the design. So I create a sketch of a rectangle, I change some dimensions. I finish the sketch, I define the height of the feature, and I finish the first creation of the feature. I continue with my design, I start with the second one, and some of you may already noticed at the bottom, ModelSearch Live appeared, showing the designer similar models. In my case, only rectangular plates were shown. That's because the search was started with the first feature, and there I only had defined a rectangular plate. You also saw that ModelSearch Live supports the designer automatically. It appears automatically as well as it disappears automatically. So there is no additional interaction needed by the designer. But anyway, let's have a look into the results. Well, first of all, you can see the preview images of the model. Then you can see the model's type icon in the lower left corner. As you can see in my case, I'm not working with a homogeneous Creo parametric Windchill installation. I also have MultiCAD data in my Windchill already. That's why it shows me the Creo parametric icon, as well as the Catia, SolidWorks, Inventor, and NX icon. In the lower right corner, it shows me the similarity weighting. The higher the similarity weighting, the more similar the models are. We also use the similarity weighting for the sorting. So this means the models on the left side do have a higher similarity weighting than the ones on the right. We also use the similarity weighting for highlighting the background color. Well, as you can see, there are different highlighting rules. If the similarity weighting is between 90 and 100%, then the models are highlighted green. If the similarity weighting is between 80 and 90%, then they are highlighted blue. And there are some additional ones available too. And of course, it's also customizable. On the top, you can see some additional information. In my case, I have added 3 attributes there, like the model's name, the life cycle, and the bounding box dimensions. Once more, those are customizable. So we can work with footprint attributes, we can work with attributes which are stored from the CAD model into Windchill. We can work with Windchill IBAs, but we can also connect ModelSearch to any kind of ERP system, like SAP or ABAS, whatever you have in use. If you hover with the mouse over the icons, then you will receive a bigger image as well as additional attributes. In my case, it's very simple. I've only added a fourth one called customer. Well, ModelSearch doesn't only work with milled parts. You can also use it with turned parts, with molded parts, with sheet metal models, as well as with assemblies. It's not only restricted or limited to Creo parametric models. We can also work with foreign file formats. Like in my case, I've downloaded a motor step file from the internet, which I have imported to Creo parametric. The geometry is calculated, the similarity search is triggered, and as you can see in the lower right corner, ModelSearch Live appeared, showing me similar motors that are already available in my database. Once more, it's not only restricted to Creo parametric files or non-native file types like step files or IGES files. Yeah? Every file format you can open in Creo parametric, you have the possibility to run similarity searches with ModelSearch. So in my case, I've opened the Catia file, but of course it also works with NX, SolidWorks, and Inventor. Once more, it's not only restricted to Creo parametric files or to parts, it also works with assemblies, but that's something I will show you later on. We also don't care about how you have created the model. So this means we don't care which features you used. So let's imagine you're searching for a shaft. There are plenty of ways how you can create the shaft. One maybe is using revolve features, the other one is using the extrusion feature, and the third one has created his shaft using surface functionalities. Anyway, at the end, it looks the same. It has the same geometric entities. And ModelSearch is only using those geometric entities. That's why it also works with file types where you have no information regarding the features, like step files, like IGES files, or like Catia, Inventor, and so on. We also don't care about the relation to the default coordinate system. So maybe I have created the model in X direction, the other guy has created the model in Y direction. We don't care. We don't even know the location to the default coordinate system. We don't know the position and we don't know the distance to it. We simply don't care. In that case, I've created a sheet metal model, and of course, it's also possible to start a similarity search manually. In that case, the model is already fully designed. So hitting the button will start a similarity search, and once more, in the lower right corner, ModelSearch Live appears, showing the designer similar models. So with that information, we now know we can search similar models, similar molded models, similar turned models, similar milled models. We don't care. It works with all kind of models. So probably the next step now, as we could find similar ones, is to start with analyzing them. And what's easier than opening the models in Creo parametric? As we are fully integrated into both Creo parametric and Windchill, we can open the model with just one mouse click. In my case, I do have lots of similar models, and some of them have a similarity rating of 99%. So if they are the same, then I would always reuse the one where all the downstreaming processes are already defined, which means I would reuse the ones where the drawing exists, where the NC program exists. And probably you can figure out that information in Windchill. Once more, as ModelSearch is natively integrated in Creo Parametric and Windchill, we can also open the model's information page just with one mouse click. In my case, I have found 6, 7, 8 similar models, and I want to figure out the differences between. If I open them all in separate windows, I need to jump around between those, which probably is a little bit annoying. For those cases, you can add all your results into an assembly. As you can see at the bottom is the model I started the search with, and above all the results are located. Well, that's a native Creo parametric assembly. So this means if you don't need one of those models, then you can simply delete it. And of course, it does not matter if you have deleted the first or the last one. It's a native Creo parametric assembly. You can rearrange them, whatever you prefer. Well, and the last step probably is to compare the models. And that's also possible. So we have created an algorithm that figures out the best position. So as you could see, it took a while, it did some tries, and the best position later on appears on the screen. One model is painted red, the other one is painted transparent green. If you can see yellow surfaces, yellow painted surfaces, or shaded surfaces like in this area, then this means those surfaces are available on both parts. If you see only red or only green surfaces, like in the highlighted area, then this means those surfaces are only available on one of those two parts. Additionally, you will find 3 cross sections in that assembly. As this is a visual analysis tool only, you probably also need to figure out volume or geometric differences of inside surfaces. Well, it's probably not that much interesting with the sheet metal model, but imagine you have compared two molded models or two turned models, then it absolutely will make sense. Once more, it's a native Creo parametric assembly. If you need additional cross sections, feel free to add them, feel free to change existing ones. When looking into the model tree, then maybe somebody has already recognized 2 additional models which are hidden by default. They are our so-called difference parts. And let's talk about how they are created. It's very easy explained. So in the first one, we copy geometry from the red one, from the one that's located at the top, and we subtract geometry from the second one. As the first model in my case had rounds, the second one not, it means that the second one is bigger than the first, so the first difference model stays empty. This also means that the second difference model shows me the differences between those. And those functionality, first of all, finding similar models, second of all, analyzing the difference between them, should support the designer in making his decision. Can I reuse the part that already exists? Or do I need some changes? Then, as mentioned, I will always benefit from the one I found, as I can use it as a template, create the copy, make my adaptations, and I can also reuse, copy, and adapt all the downstreaming processes, like once more, the drawing, the strains calculation, the NC program, so everything that is attached to the model. Well, at the beginning, I told you that ModelSearch also works with assemblies. So let me open one. Sorry, I think I had a typo. So let me open one assembly from my workspace. Let me navigate to the ModelSearch tab. And once more, I there can start a similarity search, also with an assembly. And once more, the same behavior. As you can see in the lower right corner, ModelSearch Live appears, showing me similar assemblies that are already available in my database. If you need additional information, if you need additional attributes, you can also start a similarity search where the results are provided in Windchill. Whatever you prefer, you do have both opportunities. So basically, that was the first part of the demonstration, ModelSearch integrated in Creo Parametric. Now, I leave Creo Parametric and jump into the external browser. As I already mentioned, ModelSearch is not restricted to the design department only. Also, other departments can benefit from similar models. And therefore, we are also changing our job description. We are no longer located in the design department. We are now located in the manufacturing department. And our goal is to manufacture this model. So let's talk about the challenges in the manufacturing department. And I'm sorry, but I have to repeat myself. I may know I already manufactured a similar model in the past, but without knowing the article number or the name of the model, I have no chance to find it anymore. And once more, it's even harder if not I have created the manufacturing program. Maybe my colleague has created, or a colleague on another location, which means I have no clue that a similar model already exists. This means that all the downstreaming processes, in our case, we are located in the manufacturing department, the manufacturing program is recreated from scratch. With ModelSearch, of course, this is way easier. Navigate to the model, start a similarity search, you're forwarded to the result dialog, and as you can see, similar than it was before in Creo. All the models are listed in the result dialog, sorted using a decreasing similarity rating. So highlighted at the top, the model I started the search with, and below, as you can see, the models I found already from my database. Once more, as you can see on the left side with the type icon, in my case, I'm not working in a Creo parametric Windchill environment only. I also have other CAD systems connected to Windchill, like Catia, NX, SolidWorks, and Inventor. And of course, I can also start the similarity search using those file types. Well, as mentioned, ModelSearch is not restricted to parts only. It also works with assemblies. Therefore, I navigate to an assembly. And from that, I can run a similarity search. Once more, I'm forwarded to the result list. And as you can see, the models are once more sorted using a decreasing similarity weighting. In that case, probably in the manufacturing department, the users there don't have the possibility to work with Creo parametric. Maybe they are not familiar with Creo parametric, maybe they don't have it installed on their machines. Anyway, they all have access to Creo View. And within Creo View, they do have similar possibilities. Like in my case, I'm able to open both assemblies inside the same Creo View session. In there, I can show one or the other, as well as both at the same time. To make it a bit easier, I also have the possibility to change the color, similar as it was before in Creo. Let's paint one red and the other one green. And then, well, as you can see, it's not that tricky anymore to figure out differences between those assemblies. To be honest, I don't know exactly what's the difference, but when checking it out, I guess that this model is a bit bigger or was a bit shortened, because it looks like the green wheel is moved to the right side, as well as the screws. Well, anyway, I'm not sure, but also within Creo View, we do have the possibility to compare the models. We can compare parts. We can also compare assemblies. As a side note, this would also be possible in Creo parametric as well, but in Creo parametric, you have the problem that you can only see the resulting geometry, which may means you don't know to which model the geometry belongs. In Creo View, you have a way, you have a better way how it is displayed. So as an example, you can show the geometry that was added in the second assembly. As guessed already, this model was added. So this means this one was replaced, and we can also show both, and there you can see the green one is a bit bigger, so the red one was replaced by the green one. Then you can also verify which parts were moved, and as we estimated before, the same wheel, the same screws are still in use, only the position has changed as the model, or as a longer model was used. And then, similar then to the parts, you can also see which assemblies are moved. So I think that's a very nice, a very good way to figure out differences between two assemblies. But it wouldn't be ModelSearch if we wouldn't have additional functionality. And the next functionality I like to show you is the so-called assembly analysis. So navigate to assembly. Probably the best way is before releasing it. So navigate to an assembly, start the assembly analysis. You are forwarded to the assembly analysis tab, which shows you the whole structure of that assembly. You can then extract the content of sub-assemblies. You can collapse them depending to your needs. And then you can start the assembly analysis. The assembly analyzes, starts a search for each component, and later on shows you the highest similarity weighting of each component. It doesn't matter if the content of assemblies was shown or hidden. Of course, it also went through the hidden ones. But what is the result used for? Well, imagine you have an assembly with 1000 components. Probably you are not interested in all the results. At least I wouldn't. Therefore, you can also apply a threshold, which means only models which have a higher similarity weighting than 80% are listed. All the other ones are hidden. In those cases, of course, we don't show you the structure of the assembly anymore. It wouldn't make sense. Only the models which have a higher similarity weighting than 80% are available. And now you can also figure out how does the most similar model looks like. So you can go through that list, start another similarity search. The results are then shown in the table below. For the first model, for the second one, for the third one, and so on, and so on. Well, then let's talk about the parameter search once more. Just remember, I showed you the parameter search at the very beginning. And the parameter search can also be stored. So if you have created a search and you think this one was quite useful, I probably need it once a day, once a week, twice a week, whatever, then you can save those searches. So the user can save those searches individually. The administrator can save them globally. And each company has some parts or some part families that they are reusing very often. So probably it does not make sense with library parts like screws and washers if you normally have listed them in libraries. But maybe you have some purchased or manufactured part families that you need very often. Then you can, or we can together create such a search and make them available for all users. In my case, let's go through 2-3 of those searches. The first one is a very easy one. We are looking for sheet metal models, and we are looking for sheet metal models which have exactly one bend. You already know the parameter search. We are forwarded to the result dialog, and as you can see, all those models do have exactly one bend. Let's increase the value. We are looking for models which do have exactly 2 bands. And as you can see, all those models fulfill the criteria. Well, and then once more, increase the amount of bands, looking for models that exactly have 3 bands. Let's check out some additional searches, and I guess these are the most interesting ones. I don't know if you have them in use, but you may, or you definitely know them. There are rectangular as well as squared pipes available on the market. With ModelSearch, we can also differentiate them. So within this parameter search, I'm looking for rectangular pipes. And as you can see, all those pipes listed in the result dialog are rectangular ones at the moment. Jumping back to saved searches, start the next one, the squared one. And once more, as you can see, all those pipes, probably those are a bit too big, you don't see them, all those pipes are rectangular shaped. So this means you can define parameter searches for specific part families. So this can be your entry point. You're looking for motors, you're looking for, I don't know, whatever models you have in your database. So with the parameter search, it shows you lots of those data. And if you have found one that's interesting for you, then you can start the similarity search using this one as your initial model. In some cases, you also will receive models that have a similarity rating of 100%. Models that have a similarity rating of 100% are geometrically identical. So this means those are duplicates. And we can also recognize duplicates, or we can scan your database for duplicates. The duplicate detection is running all the time. The only thing you need to do is access the results. The results are displayed within 4 tabs. We specifically look at visible, changed, as well as invisible ones. In my database, I have detected 353 duplicate groups. The groups are always named after one of the models inside. Nearby, in brackets, you can see the amount of models that are available in that list. So this means in the first duplicate group, I have detected 16 geometric identical models. How the models look like, I can also figure out. So as you saw, I do have access to a separate table below where all the content of the group is listed. So what's next? Well, most of our customers want to get rid of duplicates. So this means they want to resolve their database as well as their stock. Yeah? Just imagine you have 3 times the same model on stock. I think you can all imagine how much money you can solve when resolving that problem. And that's exactly what we offer you with ModelSearch. Yeah. But in our case, let's jump back first. Resolving duplicates in your database. The best way, of course, is if you, in that case, have the possibility to delete 11 out of those 12 models from your database. But well, that's not that easy, as they are all used in drawings or assemblies. So it could end up in lots of work. Most companies want to go with that. So most of our companies go with the easy way. They simply change the life cycle from 11 models to obsolete. And as you all know, within Windchill, you do have different permission schemes. So if you change your permissions, then users won't see obsolete models anymore. Which in the end means if they don't see them, they can touch them, they cannot reuse them. And this one will also resolve all the models from your stock. If you have resolved one of those duplicate groups, then I guess you like to get rid of them, as you have 352 duplicate groups left. So if you have resolved that group, then you can deselect the visibility. Upfront, before working through all those groups, you also have the possibility to change their priority. So in the end, you can also filter or sort the models using their priority. But in our case, it's not needed. We go through the whole list. We resolved one duplicate group already. So we deselect the visibility. This means that the duplicate group automatically has changed its visibility state. And as you can see in the upper right corner, it has removed that group. So as mentioned, 352 duplicate groups are left. Our group was moved from the visible to the invisible duplicate groups. So as you can see, it's located on the third position. So why do we have 3 visibility states? Well, we already talked about the visible one. We already talked about the invisible one. So why do we need the third one? Normally you want, so if all your designers work with ModelSearch Live, they will receive similar models during the design. But if somebody is not working with ModelSearch Live, he of course will get no hint. So he doesn't know that a similar one already is available. Therefore, he creates again a geometric identical model, checks it in, sends it to the worker, the footprint is created. ModelSearch checks the model for duplicates, recognizes, oh, I already have 12 geometric identical model, adds the newly created to the group and changes the visibility state to changed to orange. As I guess you all know, once more the group is reordered, so it's no longer in the invisible duplicate groups. It's now available in the changed duplicate groups. There, the admin or the guy who is responsible for cleaning up your database will find it. Yeah, I always talked about geometric similarity searches, and I always showed you the results in Windchill. But what if you need the result also outside of Windchill? Anyway, absolutely no problem. It doesn't matter if we are talking about the result of similarity searches, assembly analysis, parameter searches, or your whole duplicate report. You always have the possibility to export your results to an Excel file, which you then can forward to your colleagues or take with you to the next meeting. Well, once more, I was always talking about geometric similarity searches, which obviously is very, very strong and very nice, very handy to use. But what if you also have additional attributes available in your database, like the color? Could be that you do have 3 times the same model in your database. They are geometrically identical, but they differ in the color. So one is painted blue, the other one green, the third one yellow. Well, by default, we are only running geometric similarity searches, so we'll recognize that model is geometrically identical. It will also get listed in the duplicates report, as mentioned, by default. The good thing, it's customizable. So this again means we are not only restricted to geometric information, we can also work with external attributes. And external attributes for us are attributes that are stored from your CAD system to Windchill, which are only available in Windchill, like IBAs or WD part attributes, or once more, which are grabbed from an ERP system, like SAP or others once more. So which kind of information could that be? One I already mentioned, the color. You then can also use the color for comparison. So it only shows you all results which are painted blue or which are painted well. But you can also use external attributes for viewing only. So maybe your designers are interested how many of those models are on stock, because I'm in a hurry. I know I have to ship it, and if the model is not on stock, I'm probably not in time. In those cases, would make sense to show him the information how many of those models I still have on stock. Of course, that information cannot be stored, so that's why we grab that information always live during the search. Okay, coming back to my example with the color. Unfortunately, I don't have the color in my database, but I do have an attribute called, sorry for the German, called Lebenszyklus or life cycle. And with that attribute, yeah, I can filter using the life cycle. So let me show you what I mean. First of all, I start the similarity search. I'm forwarded to the result dialog. All the results are listed. Once more, they are sorted with the decreasing similarity weighting. And as you can see, I do have different life cycle states. Some are in work, some are obsolete, ones are released, ones are in development, and so on and so on. And probably I'm only interested in released ones. So then the user always has the possibility to add additional criteria. In my case, only one is defined. I can once more expand the dialog to verify which attribute I am referring to and what's the value of the attribute. So in my case, it means please show me only models where the life cycle matches well or released models. Hitting the OK button will start the search. We call it combined search, as it combines geometric searches with external attributes. As you can see, the result list looks similar than before. The models are once more listed using the decreasing similarity weighting, but the only difference, only released models are available in the result dialog right now. This functionality, once more, isn't only restricted to Windchill. You can also add it to Creo Parametric. Okay, this was a short introduction to ModelSearch from my side. Gerhard, I'll once more hand it over to you.
Thank you so much, Philip. Wow, that was really impressive about all the newest and latest features and functionalities. And I think we have a lot of interest in our attendees because nobody left the webcast so far. And I know normally we run the webcast just for an hour, but at this time we tried to have a little bit a different platform and really to be able to answer your questions. So I see we have already several questions in our queue. So Philip, do me a favor, when you have some coffee and again your voice back. I know it was hard and really need some power, then we will answer all of your questions. I tried to do some of them so far because we got several questions regarding the architecture about ModelSearch in combination with Creo Parametric and Windchill. What you can see here on the slide is the more or less architecture, and everything what you see here in this red, dark orange colored, that is a normal, let's call it standard Windchill Creo implementation, what we see on 99% of the PTC customers worldwide. And the blue components, that is something what comes as add-on regarding ModelSearch. And what everything brings in a connection is our so-called text of comments. And the situation was, and it was one question, how do you generate the so-called footprint information? And Philip has already shown how it works. And let's talk us a little bit about the prerequisites. And one of the prerequisites is to answer one of the question of one attendee. Is it's done for all of the volume of the solid geometric information which comes along and is stored in your Windchill environment. And it doesn't matter if it comes from Creo parametric, if it comes from modeling, if it comes from third-party CAD applications like Catia, SolidWorks, Inventor, Siemens NX. Even there is a possibility if you have Solid Edge in use and you have a work group manager and you have stored everything in Windchill, then it's possible to generate this so-called footprint information with the MultiCAD worker. That will come on the next slide, but just here you see how it works in an Creo parametric and Windchill environment. I have also loaded up in the area where you find documents, 3 documents. One is called ModelSearch for Creo parametric and Windchill support matrix, because that answers the next question of one of our attendee, is what is the prerequisite from a software perspective? Which Creo version, which Windchill version will work perfectly together, and what do you need as add-on? And the second document, what you find here, is the so-called requirement information. That gives you all the information what is required and what is as well more or less our recommendation, how we would recommend the implementation of ModelSearch. Let me highlight that a little bit for the MultiCAD environment and the MultiCAD worker, because here it's a little bit different. What we need here additional, that's here in the violet color highlighted, is there comes an additional text of comment add-on. We call it ModelSearch MultiCAD worker in place, because what we are able right now with the version is that we can also generate out from third-party applications, as mentioned, Catia, Siemens NX, SolidWorks, Inventor, also generate the so-called footprint information, which is stored in the ModelSearch server. And whenever a Windchill user works with ModelSearch, he will find everything. There is one differentiator to our Creo parametric and Windchill ModelSearch solution compared to the MultiCAD environment. The ModelSearch Live application, this pop-up menu, is just available for all of the PTC own CAD systems. So Creo parametric and modeling. Why? Because we are product development partner for PTC, and we get here all the information what we need with all the API information and so on to have this integral solution. For all the other solution providers in the market, they don't give us the information, and we tried it several times with all of those guys from Dassault, from Siemens, and from Autodesk, if to have here in partnership, but that was not available so far. You have already written all your advantages. I want no longer steal you the time, and we like more to give you as a summary and a little bit highlighted information what we have learned so far from our first installations of ModelSearch. And I know that we have several customers as well here in the call today, and I'm really happy that we have customers from the United States, from France, from Spain already as well here in. We have several customers which have sites. We have the headquarter here anywhere in Central European area. That means Germany, Austria, Switzerland, but they have a lot of sites all over the world. And so once more, welcome and good to have you here. We have not here on the call our customers from Japan or from Australia or New Zealand, but also here because I know that you are waiting on the recording. Nice greetings to our customers as well in this area. And I'm pretty interested in getting the feedback to all of the new features and functionalities what you have seen. I have also added a reference story from our company and customer called Multotech. They are located in Australia and they have the installation done with us together in about 8 business days. I repeat, 8 business days. And the payback, what we get from the managing director, from Nigel Greel, is less than 7 months for the ModelSearch implementation. So if you have there more information need, please go in there. I see we have as well a question regarding pricing and packaging and licensing. So sure, we will share that, but please do me a favor and really get in contact with your partner. For the United States, it's TriStar. Here in Europe, it's the Ineo Group, it's the BDS Vision Group, it's the 4CAD Group, it's the ITT guys, it's 3D Pro from Poland, it's the EconoCup team in the Scandinavian area. We have 9 Altitude in Denmark. So in every country you will find, and sure we have in Turkey the Informatic guys, and as well in Spain, Portugal and Brazil, as well the team from Jose Garrido and all of his guys and ladies in the organization. So go out to them, they will give you all the information. Just as really compact information, ModelSearch with all the components, let me go back here, with all the components what you need that you can run ModelSearch as a standard application with the ModelSearch server, with the integration to Creo parametric to Windchill, comes with the package in total with roughly between 10 to 12,000 euro or US dollars subscription per year, and that includes already 10 floating licenses. So the license type is floating, what means if you are a Windchill user and you work with ModelSearch, then after a time period, and that is configurable, normally it's within 20 minutes, the license gets free for a next user if one of your organization bodies is not working with them. Within the Creo parametric area, it's a little bit different because here it's an integral version what you have seen, and normally the user have to free up the license, because with the ModelSearch Live application, it's better to use it this way, but we will also here implement together with you the best practice stuff what we have. For the implementation, there are 2 figures what we need more or less. It's how many guys you want to train on the system. And the second one is how does your implementation or your installation, your architecture looks like, that we understand from the installation configuration, the generation of the first time footprints, how many time and effort we have to invest here or spend. Normally, to give you a first number and a gut feel, it's up between 5 to 8 days of implementation services, what our certified partners and we normally are offering here. So that means that you have an implementation for 10 users with 10 licenses for the first year, and invest between 20 to 25,000 euro or bucks or US dollars, and for the next years, so it's roughly between 8 to 10,000 euro or US dollars. That's the yearly fee. If you like to add an additional license, that's roughly 500 euro or US dollars for an additional user license. So, Philip, are you still with me?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
In the meantime, I have answered all the questions, but if you like, we can go through them once more.
Yeah, that would be good. So I see that we have still, just one buddy who left the webcast. All others are still there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would not like to steal you any time. So we are from the agenda and the topics. We are almost on the end. Feel free to stay here. We'd like to open it up right now for questions, for customers, for prospects. Whenever you think you need to get any additional information out of this web meeting today, feel free. Please, you can raise your hand. Then we can open up your microphone and we can live answer your question, or you can type it in the question area, and we go here. For all those who already has sent in questions, please do us a favor and give us a short feedback if your question is answered so far, because if not, then one of our team members will give you a call or inform you or contact you to get out here more. In the meantime, when we get the feedback, just let me finish here with the newest news. So we are really happy to have a lot of new customers and new decisions for ModelSearch coming from a global perspective. You find here some highlights. Once more, the TriStar group do a great job. So thank you for everyone. I know a lot of guys are here on the call today. So Stacy, thank you so much. Andrew, Dave, Dwight, thanks for having us and inviting all of your prospects and customers here. We have a lot of as well attendees from Germany. So once more, big hand to Detlef Fischer and the whole team regarding EBM Barbs. That will be one of our reference customers, and the reference story will follow up here. Train in the United States, very, very special, and really congrats to the team for this customer. BDS Vision in Germany. So we started former with the NID team and end up with the BDS Vision organization right now, in having found a customer out of the Kirchhoff Ecotech group, which is one of our first MultiCAD customers. So thanks for that. Also, Köppern in Germany is very interesting because it comes out of our sisters and brothers from Germany. And Köppern was a customer, or is a customer, which has modeling and model manager. And they started with ModelSearch on this environment and have now migrated from Model Manager to Windchill, and will use in the future modeling and Windchill with ModelSearch. If somebody of you have the same configuration, please inform us, then we can send you as well here the requirement and how that works. Hensler, also a great deal here. So for Köppern, thank you so much, and congrats to our colleagues here, Hensler Group, Creo Parametric and Windchill, Stiba in Austria, and furthermore. So, but I know we are running a little bit out of time. Additional customers here I want to highlight here, more or less on the Yaskawa group. That is a customer who has no PTC CAD system in use. They have just SolidWorks and Catia. We implemented their Windchill on a global perspective and added here ModelSearch for the MultiCAD environment, and really very interesting. Others you find as well. Our youngest decision is almost 1 month or 1 week old from a perspective of delivering the software. That's the company Broshuis in the Netherlands. I hope I have pronounced it right. So Hank, sorry if that was not perfect, but we are welcome here as well, DFH as our new reseller and partner in the Netherlands, in the Benelux area. I announced that you will get also information about references and metrics and return of invests, and I go to those information very, very fast, because that should be not a reading test for you. It should be an internal information what you can use within your team to get a decision or to find a negotiation team in how you should focus on and whom you can contact. Once more, here you see more or less the first contacts for ModelSearch within our organization. Harald was not today on the call. He is our product line manager within our engineering department, and he manages everything about the development together with Philip and our team in getting the newest news on the street and the power on the what's that? On the highway, maybe. So thanks a lot. I think we have no more questions right now in the queue. Philip, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's right. I don't see any additional question right now.
Yeah. So thank you once more, ladies and gentlemen, for having us today. We really highly appreciate your invest in the time today and having us today. You will get in the next days the recording and all the information what we have shown today. Feel free to contact one of your resellers, of your partners, or directly us. We will get in touch as soon as possible with you. With that, I say thank you and goodbye. And Philip, it's up to you.
Thank you for attending. Thank you all. Have a great day and see you soon. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.